Hello everybody, it's Max McAllister here today. Going to show you a video for one from the, well, we thought we've seen it all before, but clearly we haven't. In 25 years we've seen a lot of crazy things, but every once in a while we still get some shock and awe. So today we have a customer here with a Honda 2001 to 17 model Honda Goldwing, and he's the second owner of it, and the bike was upgraded with Racetech suspension components front and rear. And apparently the shock failed, and he had to drive home. He drove home to, finish his trip, and the shock was kind of pogo-y. But he said it ended up sticking in the down position in his mind. It was stuck down. So he had talked to the Honda dealer, and they wanted him to, so they wouldn't have the bike tied up while the shock went away to get repaired. They wanted him to buy a used shock. They were going to put the used shock on so he could take the bike away and then wait for the repaired shock to come back and then swap it out again. It would have been $600 in labor, and so he wasn't up for that. So he happened to he contacted us, researched, found us, and contacted us. And we do this type of work by appointment. You're typically in and out between 9 a.m. and you're gone by 12:30, 1 o'clock, same day. So anyway, we set about taking his bike apart, and because we're going to get the shock out since it was stuck down, he called it. And when we went to take the shock apart, we come on in and take a look. We found evidence that it had blown. It was full of oil. But the surprising part was it was broken in half. It hadn't actually stuck down. It broke and then collapsed inside the bike. So we've never seen this before. Now, we don't see many Racetech shocks on a Goldwing, but this one, now that we've seen one broken apart, what's very interesting is that the body, the main body that the piston and everything slides up and down in, is made of aluminum. Now, the stock Honda shock, the Showa shock, is made of steel, and then also our Traxxion Dynamics branded shock, like this one here. This body is also steel with a particular coating on it to protect it so it stays looking decent over time. So now it's not that you can't make a shock body out of aluminum, but you just have to, you have to compensate, and the wall thickness has to increase to use aluminum. And so the internal components need to decrease in size. It's not that it can't be done, or not that it shouldn't be done. But the problem is, if you do use aluminum, you can't leave it paper thin like this. I mean, that is just paper thin. So if I measure this wall thickness there, I'm going to turn this on. It's about 1.8 millimeters, maybe a little less, including some of the debris on it. So our steel body on our shock is 3 millimeters. So we're basically 50% thicker and then made of steel. So and I don't recall what the Showa body is, and I don't have one here to measure that, but it's also steel. So the only time we ever see motorcycle shocks break in half here is a road racer who cartwheels the bike and the wheel hits the ground, the swing arm rips the shock apart. That's really the only time in 25 years we've ever seen that. We've definitely never seen a Goldwing with the shock broken in half. So anyway, we have to get these components off to reuse them, the preload adjuster. And then we'll give this stuff back to the owner, and I suppose he'll probably Racetech, I'm sure, will want to get this shock back to look at it, and maybe work on their make some changes to their design or something. Anyway, thought this would be interesting, because we've certainly never seen anything like it around here, and we've been doing Goldwings here since, it says Goldwing suspensions here since late 2005, early 2006. And then I've been working on Goldwings for 40 years myself, since I was, a kid in high school. So anyway, there's always a new one. So, well, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to share with your friends. You may really want to share with your friends if they have one of these Racetech shocks, and have them contact Racetech about it. Maybe they'll do some sort of upgrade or modification to make it stronger. Anyway, my name's Max. Thanks for watching, and see you soon. Hey everybody, it's McAllister. I just wanted to add a little clip here on the Racetech shock that we came to our shop on the Honda Goldwing that are broken in half. Once we got it all apart, and we have to take the factory preload adjuster off the shock and cleaned up the grease and the mess. We haven't taken the shock apart, but we were able to see more clearly once we cleaned it up why the shock failed. As I explained in my video, this aluminum wall is very thin to begin with, but the problem comes from the clip grooves. There's several clip grooves machined that allow you to place the clip that holds the factory preload adjuster in place, and this one was cracking and failing in more than one place. So not only is the wall of the aluminum thin on the shock this way, but then when you cut the clip grooves into it, it becomes actually, you know, paper thin. If you can see that, you know, that little tiny amount there is all that's holding the shock together. And so this one was cracked and failed. The oil puked out of the crack. Then I'm sure once the shock had no damping control, it was just banging itself apart. So anyway, I thought it was worthwhile to see what we found once we got that cleaned up. So anyway, I'm going to try and splice these together. If I'm not successful at that, this will just be 2 videos. But thanks for watching.